And then, because he said he was an elder, then he leans over and he goes, I usually don't say this, but I'm part of the anointed. And I'm like, oh gosh, are you kidding me? Hi everyone, hello. Oh my gosh, it has been some time, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, so first off, make sure you guys subscribe, like, and share, okay? Because I always forget. So it's been, oh my gosh, it has been a year since I've had my YouTube channel. I'm probably almost, 30 videos in? Who knows? I don't even know. I have to check it and see where I'm at. So I think I'm at, I want to say 500 and possibly 40 subscribers. I'm still up there. That's cool. So I got a new camera. I'm not sure if it looks different, but I had to, because you know how they force you to buy a new phone because your memory is like at its capacity. I was maxed out, literally. I'm like, I was getting frustrated. So I said, I might as well just bite the bullet, get a new phone, and just do it. So here we are. I don't know if I look better, if I'm like taking collagen, so trying to look younger. I don't know. Hopefully it's working. If you guys are interested, you can ask for it. I put a little bit in my coffee every morning, and I think it's working because I don't see, there's a little bit of wrinkles, but it helps. So anyways, or it can be my new phone. Oh my gosh, I have so much to tell you. It's been so long, and I actually did my first cart crash. I have to say cart, because if I say car crash, everybody's gonna think, what the heck? Okay, so it was my first cart crash. I'm not gonna talk about it today, maybe on another video, but I think I found, I think this is more interesting what I wanna share with you. And this was when I was actually out one day doing my laundry, and it was one of my off days, and it was during the week, and randomly, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I grab out my phone and I was ready to get on my phone, and we scroll through our emails or social media or whatever, what have you. And lo and behold, who comes right behind me? Yes, it was a JW. So he pulls out his phone, right? And he leans over, like, let's pretend this is my phone. He leans over, he goes, oh, so what do you think about this, and the earth being restored to new paradise? I'm like, wait, I know this line. I think I used to use this line when I was a J-Dub. So I turned to him and I said, oh, are you a JW? He goes, yeah, I am. And he got like all excited. And I'm like, oh, I used to be one. And he actually sat down. I couldn't believe it. He sat down and wanted to listen to what I had to say. So, yeah, I gave him an earful. I told him, about what, how I was brought up as a witness. I was born into it, and what I didn't agree with what their Bible was saying versus what I read now, and all the research I've done, and just all their rules, and and all their propaganda. I mean, everything. So let me go ahead and start with what I actually talked about. So I just, right off the bat, I told him, you know what, I knew later on, and I actually knew when I was a little girl that this was not the truth. I was still kind of like, I don't know, us kids, we're smart. Like, we can call them out on their bluff, right? We know, okay, this is right from wrong. And us children, we're so innocent at that time, where we really look into stuff, and we're very vocal and we'll say stuff. But so what I told him was, when I was a little girl, yeah, I was born into it, and I used to be at school, and I would sit there and think like, man, I feel bad. Like, these poor kids, they're all going to die at Armageddon. All these kids are going to die at Armageddon. Like, seriously, I was like, and then how I would have nightmares. So I told him, I go, how is that possible? And then right away, here it comes with this little comeback. He goes, well, you know, Jehovah reads everybody's heart. Not everybody's going to die. And I think I remember us saying that, you know, or believing that. So then the next thing I brought up, I have my little cheat sheet because I won't forget. Let me see. Oh, and then I talked about how I did all my research. Like I read the Bible, I read the New World Translation, and then the King James, and how Jehovah's Witnesses used to use the King James back in the 1920s, and then they changed it. Now they have this New World Translation Bible. They call it Bible. I don't think it's a Bible. It's not a Bible. And how they added Jehovah's name. And I told him, no, you guys made it sound like, that they took it out a long time ago. I go, no, it never was. So, and I said, I did my research. And then I talked about how, where Jesus was talking to Nicodemus and that was John 3, how he talked about, how can I be saved? He goes, you have to, be born again. And you have to confess your sins, be born again. And I told him that. And I go, yeah, I know you guys don't believe in the Trinity. I go, but you know what? There's so many scriptures that debunk the whole, just Jehovah. And then Jesus is the Michael Archangel, And I said, I think I brought up the scripture about, I think it's Isaiah 6. Let me read it real quick. And it talks about, for a child has been born to us, a son has given to us, and the rulership will rest on his shoulders. His name will be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God. Jesus is a God. And it says Eternal Father, Prince of Peace. That's Jesus. He is a God. So how can you say that Jesus isn't Michael the Archangel, but then he is saying that he's God? Okay, so we know that Jesus is going to be the one who's going to be judging at the end of the days. So then how can Jesus be an angel? That doesn't make sense. So what else do we talk about? Oh, and then I started talking about the elders book and how it has the witness rule. And I said, I don't agree with that. There's been a lot of cases where I've heard stories. I even have friends that it happened to. I'm not going to say the word, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. Cause there's a lot of stuff coming out. There's a lot of court cases coming out. There's a brand new one. I don't know if you guys heard about it. It was just the other day. And I was reading the court case details, and it was just sickening, and it just made my stomach just turn. This child, and anyways, I am not going to get into that, but, and that's what I was saying. I go, you guys don't report it. You don't report it to the authorities. And he was just sitting there listening the whole entire time and did not say a word. Like once in a while he'll chime in. And then I had asked, I go, I got a question for you. I want to ask you something. I go, because most Jehovah's Witnesses, when I ask them, they have the same answer, or they've been asked by other people, it's the same answer. And I said, I go, do you know if you're going to let's say paradise or heaven? And he goes, yeah, I do. And then, because he said he was an elder, then he leans over and he goes, I usually don't say this, but I'm part of the anointed. And I'm like, oh gosh, are you kidding me? I said, all right, let's talk about Revelations 14:4, how it talks about the 12 tribes of Judah. They're a Jewish descent. And I'm like going, I'm telling them, and I go, and they're male, and they can't be, they can't lay with women, like meaning they have to be virgin and Jewish descent. So I told him, well, how does that make you part of the anointed. That doesn't make sense. So I don't know. I mean, and then he was like puffed up with pride, especially when he told me that, like he was, oh, I'm of the anointed. Like, what, you want me to bow down to you? Like, come on, dude. And I'm sitting thinking in my head, this poor guy has no clue that he's in a cult. And I had asked him too, I'm like, what, oh, I go, what made you become a witness? I think, or he was born into it or something. And then he said that he did leave at one point, and he returned to the organization. So I'm like, wait, where is he disfellowshipped, you know? And then, wait, how can you leave and come back, but then you're of the anointed? Come on. Like, seriously? Oh my God, it was a joke. It was seriously, I felt bad for the guy, to be honest, you know, because I even told him, I go, you know what? I go, because he goes, I appreciate you even talking to me. I go, no, same. I appreciate you listening to me. But before he left, I told him, you know what? I go, this is what put the nail in the coffin, and I was done. I go, when I heard the governing body testify during the Royal Commission and the Australia Royal Commission court case, and he bold-faced lied on camera. I go, when I heard that governing body lie, I go, that's when I was like, oh, I'm done. Like, I'm not, there's no way am I ever going back to that cult. So yeah, it was a great conversation. It was very interesting. But yeah, we talked for a long time, but then it was funny because I wanted to keep talking, but he's like, oh, I gotta go to work, you know. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. Like, so, but it was nice. I just told him, I go, you know what, I still have love for you, and I go, and I love you, you're still my brother. I have love for the Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't have love for the organization and the governing body, but I have love towards you because you are still my brother. So I left it on that note, and he appreciated that. So I don't know, I'm gonna go wash my clothes tomorrow at the laundromat, so let's see if I run into him again, because let me tell you, I've been breaking down this Bible. It's not a Bible, it's a book that they came up with, and I have been, see all these are scriptures that you can use with a J-dub. And this is their Bible. So if you go in here and read them, I mean, it's like, for instance, there was one, Ecclesiastes 12:7. It says, then the dust returns to the earth just as it was, and the spirit returns to the true God who gave it. This is in their Bible. So they're not reading their Bibles, or they're under a spell. Who knows? I mean, I just, like I said, I hope they wake up. But that was my news story. Yay. It's been 1 year. I've had my YouTube channel. It hasn't grown because I haven't done videos. So hopefully it'll start growing again. Let's see if I can get more subscribers. We still have a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses leaving and waking up. Matter of fact, I think I was on a meetup in LA. It was the LA Zoom with the meetup, the XJW meetup, and there was somebody brand new 2 weeks out. 2 weeks out from the organization. Do you know how many JWs are going to be celebrating their first Thanksgiving tomorrow? Very interesting. And I'm going to go visit my little friend, my Pimo friend, because she's out. Because she still has a lot of family in. But I'm going to go visit her, and she is gonna have a Friendsgiving with all these XJWs, and it turned out we were gonna just start with 3 people. Then she called me the other day, oh no, it's gonna be 8, and then tonight she's like, it's gonna be 15. I'm like, what? So yeah, that should be fun. We're gonna meet new people, and I think fresh people that have just recently left. So I'll let you know how it goes on my next video. And maybe one day I'll talk about when I did my first cart crash. All right, guys. You guys have a good night. Have a great Thanksgiving. I'm working, but it's okay. I'm excited to spend it with my friends. And I hope you guys have a wonderful time with your friends or family, whoever, okay? And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.